In the United States, it was only a few months ago that John McCain and George W. Bush were locked in a bitter battle for the Republican presidential nomination. The Arizona senator's populist campaign resulted in a surprisingly close race, during which he accused Bush of lying. It was a different story today, as Senator McCain threw his support behind the Texas governor, although it took some prompting before he would use the E word.
I endorse Governor Bush. I endorse Governor Bush. I endorse Governor Bush. I endorse Governor Bush.
McCain ruled out running as Bush's vice presidential candidate. Officials of America's big game lottery believe the jackpot has been won. A single ticket holder took out the first prize of $350 million US, or about 600 million Australian. Ticket outlets had been swamped with a late rush of people hoping for a share of the loot, but the chances of striking it rich were a staggering 76 million to 1. Statisticians also calculated that punters were 11 times more likely to die driving to buy a ticket, 16 times more likely of being killed by a toppling drink vending machine, and 27 times more likely to be struck by lightning. It was a fairly miserable day in Sydney today, rain with a cool wind, but inside at Australian Fashion Week, it seemed more like an endless summer.
Jodie Packer is putting her toes into the most competitive section of an intensely competitive industry.
Absolutely petrified.
Today was Swim and Resort Wear Day. Jodie Packer giving the media a very brief preview of her Tiger Lily surfwear range.
It's a little edgier, a little more fashion orientated. I mean, I think surf's moving. There's a lot of growth in the surf market, especially in women's surf.
She launches Tiger Lily tomorrow night. Today, it was the turn of some veteran designers to test the water. Resort and swimwear of every conceivable style and colour. In some cases, it was a little hard to work out just where some of it would be worn, let alone why. Evergreen Brian Rochford, a big hit, mostly for women, but men do go to the beach too. Outside, it may have been cold and rainy, but inside, sunshine. What some of us will be wearing if summer decides to return. First, last and foremost, this is a trade show all about selling Australian fashion to the rest of the world. And if the growing size of the order books are any indication, it's already a runaway success.
This show started off in 1996 with 13 international visiting media and buyers and 12 collection shows. This year we're up to 200 visiting media and buyers and 80 collections.
Something, in fact, for everybody. Peter Harvey for Nightline.
The latest arrival in Melbourne Zoo's gorilla baby boom, 2-week-old baby Jay, met the rest of the family today for the first time. Baby Jay's mother, Julia, looked on as she got used to her new surroundings, while Dad, Mataba, kept other gorillas at arm's length. Baby Jay was the second of 3 gorillas born within 5 months of each other, but the only one in the zoo's history to be raised by her natural mother. In a moment, all the latest sport, including tonight's Rugby League State of Origin, an early Roman holiday for Pat Rafter, and Capel Dev's tears over match-fixing allegations.
I was tired before that. I committed suicide before that, rather than thinking of life from somebody.
Now to sport, and the opening State of Origin match has provided all the thrill and drama we've come to expect from Rugby League's toughest series. Both sides had the lead at various stages. New South Wales then drew level with a controversial try, which was followed by the send-off of Queensland star forward Gordon Tallis. The Blues then took advantage of its extra number, sealing the match in the dying minutes.
A cool, wet and windy night faced fans arriving at the Olympic Stadium. Inside, they warmed to the glow of 20 years tradition and the country's best players.
Advance Australia fair.
David Peachey's first taste of Origin almost turned sour.
He's lost it!
Maroons captain Adrian Lamb having a shaky start too.
This is a terrible, terrible start.
He spent the next 10 minutes on the sideline, watching as the Blues crossed, only to have the last pass ruled forward.
And it's no try.
Queensland's response was as quick as it was unexpected. A first tackle kick standing up the New South Wales defence, Rogers easily winning the race to the ball.
Rogers!
The Blues using the kick to good effect too, Girdler setting up McDougall.
Girdler's kick is a beauty! Here's a try!
Sore shoulder and all, Queensland's leader led by example.
He'll go over! Adrian Lamb has gone in!
They were in front by 2 at the break. On the last play of the half, though, Wendell Saylor was knocked out cold.
Sailor's injured. Lockyer's okay, but Wendell's in trouble.
After the restart, Lamb was the man to ignite Queensland again.
Lamb's over.
At the other end, it was Kearns to get things moving, forcing the error. Girdler laying the ball back for McDougall to score his second.
Gets it back. McDougall. McDougall.
Queensland suffered more knockouts. Rogers the next, replaced by a still groggy Wendell Saylor. Rogers back on as Arkansas stars. The Blues wide awake though, again Girdler making the incision, this time going all the way.
Girdler, he's over!
Sensation even as the scoreboard ticked over. A missed knock-on earlier in the movement had Tallis incensed. He was sent off for abusing the referee.
Don't talk to me, just go!
16 all, the Blues making the most of the extra man to break the deadlock. Peachy over in the corner for the match winner.
They're over! It's David Peachy!
Mark Barlin for Nightline.
In other league news, Brett Mullins' career at the Canberra Raiders will continue despite more troubled times for the former Test star. After being suspended and fined for shoving a teammate, Mullins' future was on the line after he failed to attend training yesterday. But the club accepted his explanation that he'd slept in, and his fellow players backed him in a vote, meaning Mullins will be on the bench for this weekend's match against North Queensland. It's been a mixed day for Australia's tennis stars at the Italian Open. Mark Philippoussis has joined Leighton Hewitt in the second round after a tough tussle with Marc Rosset. But there was an early exit for Pat Rafter, who appeared to struggle for motivation and fitness.
In his first appearance on clay for the year, Rafter gave early glimpses of a game that made him runner-up here in 1999. The 12th seed took the first set 6-3 before Ulirook tied it up at a set all. Fatigue in the final set sealed the Australian's fate, and although happy with his recovery from last year's shoulder injury, Rafter admits he'll be struggling to be fit for the French Open at the end of the month.
It's still got a ways to go, but, you know, today out there there was no excuse for the shoulder.
Indian cricket great Kapil Dev has broken down while denying allegations of bribery and match fixing.
I will die before that. I commit suicide before that, rather than thinking of bribe from somebody.
Former Indian cricket boss Inderjit Singh Bindra has accused Dev of trying to bribe teammates to play poorly.
I can't share my friends again.
Dev is taking legal action against Bindra. Andrew McKinlay for Nightline.
The Shark is heading into the water in a new boat. Greg Norman commissioning a Perth company to build him a luxury yacht. The vessel will be the first in a series of Norman expedition yachts.
65 metres long, it's capable of taking on the icy Antarctic or cruising the Amazon, but the great white shark will start much closer to home.
First of all, I want to go around Australia and see that. It'll probably take me a while, 12 months to do that, but I'm not going to be on this boat 12 months a year.
But you could be. The yacht will be fitted out with the best on offer, and it's being built in Perth.
Nothing makes me feel better than coming back and be able to put the amount of money that goes into a boat like this back into the Australian economy.
The price is around $50 million. The Norman name should be a massive boost for Ocean Fast. The business aims to generate $100 million in annual revenue in the next few years. And as for the name Aussie Rules...
Rugby league didn't sound like a very good name for a boat. Aussie Rules has got a better ring to it. And cricket, no, that doesn't really work either.
Kate Mann reporting for Nightline.
And still to come on Nightline, the finance and the national weather. Finance and the Australian share market fell almost 1.5% today as investors reacted to the federal budget and possible interest rate rises in the United States. Telstra's shares suffered their 8th successive fall, losing another 9 cents, while Telstra 2 dipped to $3.66. The All Ords finished the day almost 43 points down. In Tokyo, the Nikkei fell 143 points. In London tonight, the FT 100 is 45.5 points up in morning trading. Gold is fetching $278 an ounce. And in European trading tonight, the Australian dollar is buying 58.35 US cents, 64 euro cents, 63.6 yen and 38.2p. The national weather and a high gradually moving into the Tasman continues to dominate much of Australia. while a cold front associated with a low is moving into the southwest. Another low is forming off the east coast. The forecasts: late showers for Darwin, fine in Brisbane, early showers for Sydney, fine in Canberra, Melbourne, Hobart and Adelaide, and for Perth, showers ahead tomorrow. That's the news this Wednesday night. From all of us here at Nightline, good night.
This program brought to you by May Money Magazine, giving readers the chance to win GST cash. May Money Magazine on sale now.